Basically, I've been making wine in New Zealand for the best part of, well, for over 25 years now. I've made every vintage since 2007, so that's now 11 vintages.
I've been involved in the wine industry basically since the age of 14, I suppose. Working alongside Dad, the communication is probably our biggest asset because we've obviously had to communicate for so many years of our life. We've got it pretty well organised now.
Where Mount Beautiful is located is really a very experimental area. It was with some sort of interest and trepidation that I first came down and had a look at it. Climate conditions are significantly different to those in Waipara, but delivers some really interesting results.
It's quite refreshing dealing with weather conditions, vineyard site. It's always different year on year.
In an average year, we're probably about 2 weeks later in ripening. I think we end up with some really interesting depth of aromatic character, really throughout the range of wines, but particularly in things like the Riesling and the Pinot.
So the style of Pinot Noir that we're producing, it's fruit driven, touch savoury, but with really good structure. It's lush and giving. Basically something that would go really well with a rare roast beef. So today at Mount Beautiful, we're processing some Pinot Noir. All of our Pinot Noir is hand-picked. We go onto our vibrating table. We go across the sorting table, looking for things like underripe fruit, raisining. We then go up the small elevator, which takes the whole bunches through to the destemmer. All of our Pinot Noir is 100% destemmed and non-crushed. So what we're trying to achieve is whole berries. We end up with softer tannins, because we're extracting skin tannin rather than seed tannin or stem tannin. From the destemmer, you're going up into the cuve, so we're looking for minimal machine input and as minimal handling as we can possibly achieve. 2016 was the first vintage we had for Mount Beautiful Rosé. The Rosé is Pinot Noir based. 70% Saignée. Saignée is the process by which you pull off juice from a Pinot Noir tank before it's fermented. So it's got a little bit of colour, but obviously not the Pinot Noir colour. So it was really interesting process.
The majority of our Pinot Gris is hand harvested. Pinot Gris is made from whole bunch pressed, slightly cloudy juice, fermented mostly in stainless steel. You get this wonderful limpid juice which has solids in it, but it's got this clarity to it at the same time. So you get delicacy, but at the same time you get texture. You end up with wines with slightly lower pHs, which particularly with Pinot Gris is a real benefit.
We've been picking some Riesling. All our Riesling is hand-picked. From the baskets, we go over the vibrating table, basically shakes out any loose leaves. We move on to the sorting table, picking out any botrytis we might have in there or bird peck. From the sorting table, we go up into the press. We then go through to tank. All good, man. So yeah, the Chardonnay, much like the Pinot Gris and the Riesling, is all hand-picked. It's run over the sorting table again. 4 hours for a press cycle before going straight to stainless steel tanks, settled before being moved to either barrel or to another tank.
Key thing with Sauvignon Blanc is actually harvesting when it's absolutely at the right point of ripeness. The majority of Sauvignon Blanc is machine harvested. The machine harvester then delivers the fruit to the winery, goes through the receival bin into the crusher destemmer, grapes are then pumped into the press. That then goes to a tank. We then will rack clear juice from the sediment, the lees in the bottom of the tank. Then we will go through a grading process, and we will work out which of those components will make up the Mount Beautiful blend. There are very few other careers that you can show the products of your labour. Each year that you make a wine, the wine's going to be different. The growing seasons are going to be different, your thinking is going to be different, but what you then produce encapsulates the story of the season, of your thinking, and you have this product that you can show. It's such a complete product, and it's such a creative process.
The vineyard's going to get older, it's going to produce more complex flavours and also be more expressive of the site in which we're at. And being able to represent the place that you're producing the wine from is the pinnacle.